The Hawaiian Comedian presents. I've been doing comedy for over 23 years. And I've been on the road. I've been in different cities. I've been different things like that.
We're here to talk about everything, man. The topics you talk about with your friends, your family, questions you got for us. Twitty in the city.
Aloha.
Back at it like we never left. That might be my new little catchphrase.
Like we never left?
Yeah, back like we never left.
Like we never left.
For some, it might be. This could be they just keep hitting next, keep hitting next. That's kind of how I am sometimes with certain shows. I'd rather just watch it all in totality, but that's the thing. We don't have seasons. It's just going to keep going. So if you're just waiting to watch everything, it's going to be a long time. This is Twitty in the city. I'm the Twitty. That's the THC, the Hawaiian Comedian. THC for short, because we ain't saying that multiple times.
Multiple times, can't do it.
That's a tongue twister. Probably get paid for each time.
It'd be harder if I made you say my Hawaiian name.
Oh, gosh, no. I think I still failed trying to say that. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. We appreciate you getting the comments. We appreciate you when you're commenting and asking us stuff. Just tell us where you're at. What state? I don't need a city. Don't need a zip code. Just what state? We just want to know where you're at. We appreciate you, love. Appreciate the support. And I just had a funny situation come up while THC was voice to text. You ever get mad that your phone sometimes can't pick up what you're saying, but it'll pick up somebody else?
Oh, clearly.
And I'm assuming what I said, it picked it up clearly.
Clearly.
So THC was, I'm assuming, probably was messaging one of your kids about if his bug guy came around.
Yes.
Probably typical house stuff.
Right.
And I wasn't even saying it loudly. Probably in the most casual, faint voice, I just said, he's got a bug guy. And it caught it.
And it came up clear. Like the one before it, I was doing talk to text. I was asking, I said, hey, did the bug guy come by the house?
And it struggled.
And I had to go back and re text one of them because it said something else. But the minute before I could even do that, you said that he's got a bug guy. And right at the bottom, it said it perfectly too. Boom, 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 boom. I was like, oh, Twitty, my phone likes you, don't like me.
I mean, it's vice versa. I feel like if I did the same thing, it wouldn't understand nothing I'm saying. And the moment you just say like, he's got that, I don't get it. It's weird, but I just thought that was super funny.
He's got a bug guy.
The fact that it also said it so clearly is because I was not yelling it. I was just like, he's got a bug guy.
I do. Got a bug guy. Takes care of all the bugs around my house.
That's good. And you said they're a veteran owned, so I know that's right up your alley. That's what's up. Okay, we got two topics. Just hit my microphone. We got two topics to get to.
Wow.
So last episode, we were talking about siblings. Shout out to Stephanie. She was trying to guess if I was an only child or if I had siblings. She thought I had siblings. I do not. I am an only child. THC, siblings, middle of three, female on either end. So
and you know what's funny
boy.
too is like I don't really know too many Polynesians, Hawaiians that do not have siblings. Like almost every person I know that's not part of the family but is of Pacific Islander or Polynesian. All of them have brothers and sisters.
Yeah, I don't think I know any. I mean, there's not a lot of Polynesians that I know, but of the ones I do know,
all have siblings.
They got siblings.
Mm-hmm.
And for sure, three. I don't think I've ever known any that have two.
Two? Yeah, nope.
I feel like three is the minimum.
Yep.
That's like like
my aunt. My aunt has 7. I got 7 cousins just from one auntie.
I mean, I can understand that.
My mom is one of 12.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah. She had a basketball team.
Polynesians, man.
That's what's up, though. That's one thing before I get to this topic. To have that many siblings, you could play any sport by yourself with your family. Oh, yeah. Basketball, set.
Mm-hmm.
You had a full rotate.
But you could be the youngest kid going to the retirement of the first oldest kid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The one that graduated high school and was going to college. Yeah. You could live a whole life.
Yep.
And
yep.
You still got a sibling it's like, yeah, he's just getting to high school.
Yep.
That's crazy. All right, that's the wrong phone. You got 2 phones. I'm hitting my microphone.
I got 2 phones.
All right, so I read a list. I found this list of tendencies of only child and siblings. Mm-hmm. We wrapped up only child and had to get to the sibling ones to see if you would agree or disagree with these. So when it comes to a sibling, regularly interacting with a sibling helps develop communication, conflict, and resolution abilities.
100%.
I feel like we touched on that in the last episode where you talked about, because you kind of, like you said, you're stuck with that sibling. You don't have no escape. There is no, they leave for 2 or 3 minutes. They are constantly in your grill, in your face. So yeah, you develop communication skills, good, bad. Actually, probably good because you probably are doing a trial run. Like you yell at your sister and then you get your ass beat. And it's like, all right, can't yell at her, but I still got to tell her like how I feel. So then the next time around, you're learning as you go. Like you said, I yelled at her, probably shouldn't have told her that way. And I reaped some precautions from that. So then when the situation happens again, I can learn and figure out another way to express to her how I feel. And then it's like, oh, that worked out pretty better or good in a sense.
In a sense, but like we still, I don't know. I think my sisters and I got closer when we got in trouble more.
Because most of the times, it was a group?
No, because I think that's the moments that my sisters knew that their brother was down for them. I will walk through fire with them. I will go through whatever I have to for my sisters. But my sisters, same thing. They would do the same thing for me. So like there was times when they got me in trouble. There was a lot of times when I got them in trouble.
Right.
But in the midst of it all, I knew if I was going to take an ass whooping, either one of my sisters would take an ass whooping with me.
Yep.
100%. And they wouldn't even flinch. They would even come in and dap me up before we got whooped. They would walk in and be like, "You gonna get whooped, I'm gonna get whooped, but we got this." Mm-hmm.
Mom's coming here and then she's after me. I got you. I'm gonna be in there.
Yep.
That's cool. I respect that. This one, understanding and relating to another person's perspective, fosters empathy and understanding.
Correct. And that's because it like my sisters would have different issues to help me look outside of the box. I guess when people say that, like I always have the option to look outside of my own feelings because
Gotcha.
I have others to think about too. So it does help me weigh options and weigh different situations.
So in a sense, you also, because in the last episode, you said as an only child, or you agreed with one that stated about, I forgot what it talked about, but it basically was talking about being alone and that you learned to listen.
Yes.
And so I feel like in a sense, with siblings, you also listen. Because like you said, you learn to have other viewpoints. But to do that, you got to listen.
I mean,
or maybe you interpret.
You gotta hear the problem. Yeah. You gotta hear the problem. You gotta hear the thing. But it's like, you don't really gotta listen because you might not even understand the situation. You
Fair.
just know that your sister or your sibling or your brother is going through something. You don't really truly understand it, but I'm gonna stand here with that person anyway.
That's fair. What is this one? I got two more. Depending on family dynamic, sibling rivalry can lead to a competitive nature, thus allowing you to overcome losses, adversity, as in life.
100%.
That is fair.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Because I think I competed with my younger sister more than I competed with my older sister. Because my younger sister, she was like if I was taking taekwondo, she wanted to take taekwondo. If I was playing baseball, she wanted to play baseball. Like we both were competitive against each other.
Yeah.
But it upped it. You know what I mean? It wasn't like a competitiveness to where we didn't like what either one was doing. It was more of a competitiveness of like, oh, I thought you was the best.
Yeah. It gave you bragging rights for that duration of the day, but or
it also gave me bragging rights to sit there and go, yeah, that's my sister.
Yeah.
And she just whooped your ass.
Yeah.
I'll be like, and I don't even know why, because that's my little sister. And she, like, for me, I'm not going to be like, oh, she the best in the world. I'm going to be like, she the best in the world, but she beat your ass.
Right.
Like, it's like, meh.
Yeah, that's fair. And then, why did I write this one down? Some of these just have a funny start, and I'm like, why did I write this down? Birth order can play a role, with older siblings sometimes appearing more responsible, younger siblings potentially being more outgoing.
I wouldn't say.
I know why I wrote this down, because I knew you were one of three, so I was like.
I wouldn't say more outgoing. I would just say willing to try more, I guess. That's still kind of outgoing. What I'm saying is like the oldest was the most responsible.
Right.
Like that's the one that the parents looked at to say.
Well, yeah, trickle down effect.
Yes. So like if they mess up, they got to be. So like, yeah, the older one's going to be the most responsible out of the group. The youngest one is going to try to get away with most of the stuff because the youngest one is going to be like, well, I'm the baby. You know what I'm saying?
Not outgoing, more, not edgy.
Middle, we catch flack. We catch flack because we like that kid that's just, you just stuck in the middle of all this bullshit. So we catch more flack, but I was the middle one that'll catch it. But for my two sisters, I'd catch flack all day.
Yeah. Okay. Not, yeah, I don't know what that word would be. Maybe it's not outgoing. It's not edgy. Tempting? No. I got to figure out what a word would be for that. Because I know what you're saying, but yeah, outgoing, maybe it is
adventurous, I guess, kind of like, like
I like that better than outgoing.
They don't have as much fear. Like the oldest is going to have a lot of fear because it's resting all on the oldest's shoulders.
Yep.
So it's not resting on the youngest's shoulders. So the youngest feels more carefree.
That's the word.
That's the word. Carefree. Yeah, like there's not a lot of care. Yeah, I got to do the right thing, but I don't really have to.
Yeah.
She gonna get in trouble if I do something.
That's the word. They are more carefree.
Yeah.
Glad we figured that word. I was like, adventurous wasn't it either. Like,
no.
Carefree.
Carefree.
All right. So that concluded last
siblings.
episodes with siblings. Now, I told THC to come up with his top 10 list of movies of all time. He thought I said, come up with your top 3. Because when I said it, he looked at me and was like, that's impossible. I'm like, you don't have 10. I was like, that should be a layup. Then it took you a couple of days. No, it took me to ask you.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I still want to give him some time.
Because I was still stressing on 3 movies.
Yeah. So I'm over here. I gave him a week and I was like, give me your top 10. And he's like, that's impossible. I'm like, bro, it's 10. I was like, you probably got 12, 13.
No, hold on. You didn't tell me, give me your top 10. You sent me an email. I didn't read the email fully.
I did. I text you / emailed you.
Or email, yeah. So I just kind of, all I seen was top movies, and I swear it said 3. So you didn't tell me 10, because when you finally told me 10.
Yeah, because I didn't talk to you about it.
Yeah.
And I think early.
My stress level dropped when you talked to me.
The end of last week, I was like, you got your list? And he just, it's hard, man. I'm like, bro, what is so hard? Like, you're a movie guy. I get it. I said, but you can make a top 10. And that's what I said in my brain. And he said, you want me to pick 3? And I was like, what?
Yeah.
I was like, no. I said, I want you to pick 10. And then he was like, oh, we're good.
When you said 3, I had at least 7. That's what I'm saying. And I had to break down 7 to get it down to 3.
No.
And I was like, and as soon as you said 10, I was like, oh, okay. Well, then all 7 will stay up in there and I can add a couple more.
Right. I was like, because I got to 7, 8.
What's even crazier, I don't even have a list written down.
You don't?
Nope. I go right off the top of my head. That's how much I love motion pictures.
Which was why I was so confused when you said you couldn't do it. I was like, you can't come up with 10.
Mm-hmm. I can.
I was like,
I can't come up with 3.
I was like, that means you must be the opposite. Because
I was looking at it like 3 movies, right? Like if you was to put me on the desert island and only 3 movies showed up that I could watch.
That's hard.
These are the 3 that were, that's where I was at. I was stuck. That's how bad I took it. You told me 3. I ended up on an island trying to come up with shit. You told me 3. I was off on an island. I was trying to make a fire, trying to come up with 3 movies.
I'm like, man, bro, like it's 10. We should. I was like, I'm not that horrible. I'm not that one teacher that gives you a 5-page paper that's due by the next day.
Right.
I was stressing. I at least gave you the resources. All right, so it's an unofficial, it's not a bet, but we were guessing. How many did you say you think we'll have that it's in
out
common?
Of 10?
Out of 10?
I said 5. 3 or 5. I know mine was an odd number. I think it was 3, and I think yours was 4.
Yeah, and I was one above you. You said 3. I said 4.
Right.
Okay. You want to go? You just name your 10, or do we want to go one at a time each?
Now, are we starting with our top down to the bottom?
We can.
Okay, so start with the top movie.
Yeah,
movie.
Let's go one for one because I can keep track for you.
Okay.
Because I wrote mine down, so I'll know which number I'm at. If you need a refresher, I can be like, we're on number 4 or number 5.
I'm telling you, I think some of my movies, you're gonna look at me and you're gonna be like, "What?"
This is why I'm kind of excited.
Who's watching this right now? I'm gonna bring up some nostalgic movies. Some of y'all gonna be like, "Man, I forgot about that movie."
I will say, I think I'm looking at my list. None of these are prior to 2000, and most of these are early 90s.
Oh, mine's I got some 80s.
Yeah. See.
Yeah.
And I knew some 80s, but I was like, I'm gonna go with this was my core. So
and mine, people, like mine is not. I'm out of 10. I'll probably have 1 or 2 horror, but that's it.
I got
I got yeah,
Same.
maybe one or two horror,
One or
but most
two.
mine mostly is just comedy and
see, and I didn't. There is a sports, but I didn't go sports heavy either. Because you're probably thinking as an athlete, nope, I didn't go sports heavy. I tried to be versatile, and it naturally happened. Surprisingly, like like I said, I got to 7.
There's some movies it just got to be sports.
Yeah, some of them got to, but I was surprised myself when I was naming my first 6 or 7. I was like, this is also pretty broad in category. Like I just didn't stick to one lane.
I think there's going to be a sport movie that's going to be one of us that's going to cross. We're going to cross. I think so.
Yeah. All right. You want me to go first?
Go ahead.
We're starting at number 1.
Number 1, your highest ranking. This is the one that's got to be with you.
Denzel.
Which one?
Training Day.
Training Day.
And there was a toss-up between that and American Gangster, but I went with Training Day was the first. Training Day was the first Denzel, one of the first that I watched, and I thought he portrayed a whole side of him that he could be that on a regular basis.
Watching that movie in Training Day, watching Denzel in Training Day, like it's what I usually ask if I'm watching movies is who else could play that part that good, and I couldn't come up with one name.
No, that's why I said it. Like if Denzel, he could live that life. Is how he portrayed it.
Yeah,
it'd be like, when we play
like
that guy.
He came from that.
Got it. I just got to live my life every day.
You know, one of the words that he used that in that movie that when I heard the word, I was like, yo, that is a word that not everybody in the world uses. That it's designed specifically for where they was at and for where they was where he was at in L.A. Where it was down on the West Coast. It was when Ethan Hawke had tackled that guy that was trying to attack that girl in the alleyway. And Denzel came walking up and he said, "Woo, you got mad squabbles, boy."
Yes.
Squabbles was a word that you like, hold up. Out of every movie I've ever watched, I ain't never heard anybody use the word squabbles in the right way.
Yeah. Because, he's walking down that. He's not running. He's just walking down the alleyway. Fixing his coat. Probably pulled out a cigarette because he was smoking a lot in that movie. Mm-hmm. I think he either pulled the cigarette out. I think he was actually getting rid of it, like putting it out, I think. Because I remember he squats down and he's like, ooh. So that's how it starts. That's my number 1.
Okay, number 1 is Training. That's a good one. That's not my number 1, but it is on my list. So we are gonna come back to that. Okay. My number 1 is Breakfast Club. Now Breakfast Club for me, that's an icon.
So funny. Before you finish, that would have been a number 2. That's just outside of my top 10 for me.
Really?
It was number 11. I'm not even lying. It was number 11.
I'm 183 times watching this movie since the 6th grade.
Wow.
6th grade, I have watched that movie every single week. I used to watch that movie religiously. John Hughes, famous. Emilio Estevez.
Yeah,
Ali Sheedy,
that's
Anthony
my number
Michael
11.
Hall. Ooh, that's my. I can actually, if I'm watching that movie, I can do every line until the end of the movie.
I think so that's my number 11. I think you will maybe respect what I put in front of it.
Okay,
I think
that's
you
fair.
will. I think you will.
Okay, that's fair.
If not respect, you would say I respect the decision to go between the two.
Okay.
So that's we would have been almost a 2 for 2.
Okay.
All right. Number 2, this is where the sport came in. Remember the Titans.
Dang.
Is that your number 2?
Number 2. Are you kidding me? Are you serious? Okay.
I'm not. You know what, Sean? I'll send you the list of my. I mean, wow. I should have gave Sean the list before, so he could put it up beforehand.
Well, then I would see it, and I don't want to see it because I don't want us to.
Maybe I'll.
Number 2. That's my number 2.
Yeah. Remember the Titans
when they're at Gettysburg. When they're sitting there and he's giving them that talk.
Yes,
man. Then when they finally got it, when the kids finally strong side, I was like, let's go.
I think that
let's go.
I easily can remember high school up until college. I would watch that every summer before I start off-season workouts.
And just Denzel's mannerisms in that movie, like, you know, when they're taking off down the side and they're on a run and you look over at the coach and you see Denzel like leaning back as they go and it's just like, yeah, go. It's like every coach does that.
That's every lean.
Every coach. And the cast was 100%.
That
perfect.
was it.
That was a perfect cast.
That's the other thing. When I went through my list, Sunshine was that guy.
Oh yeah, military kid came in, daddy dropping him off in a Corvette. Yeah,
he was that guy. But I was gonna say with my list, I've realized the cast was fat for every one of them.
Oh yeah.
Like it would cost. Like I don't think
Gosling. Like there's a bunch of people in this movie.
I don't think if you remade this in today's age, they could afford everybody.
No,
when they made these movies.
Nope.
Like that's how I look at it. It's like you could not remake this if you wanted to. Like it would cost you so much because every one of these people have blown up.
Yep.
In this movie and most of the movies that I'm listing off. Also, I forgot to throw this out there. The reason I thought of this list is because my wife had never seen Bruce Almighty.
Ooh.
And that was also a cast that was underrated. And I was like, how could you not seen Bruce Almighty? And so that's where I got on.
I hit skip.
See?
That's how I did not see it. He said, you want Bruce Almighty? I was like, nah, I'm good.
I remember watching it because I've always been a Morgan Freeman fan. So any movie he was in, he could have been the main, the backup to the backup. I had to watch it.
Are you sure? Because I used to be like that until Hard Rain came out with him and...
When did that come out?
90-something? 94, 95. Hard Rain. Him and Christian Slater.
So it would have been like a couple of years after that.
It was him and Christian Slater. And I was like, bleh.
I didn't backtrack with Morgan Freeman. I want to say it was 97, 98 is when I was like, I like Morgan Freeman. So I'm going to watch because I think Bruce Almighty came out in 96, 97.
Number 3.
I got to fact check that. This gotta be on your list. This gotta be The Godfather.
It is, but it's more near 10.
Okay. But it's in the top 10?
It's in the top 10.
Okay. So that's the third one. No. Yeah. No?
Yeah, because I haven't said Training Day yet.
Yeah, you say you didn't say it yet. We both got Remember the Titans, and you're saying Godfather's on your list.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Number 3 for me is Godfather. Because Godfather to me was...
Now, you talking original or you talking like Godfather 2, Godfather 3?
The original.
The original. Number 1.
The original.
Okay.
Yeah. I want to say, because when I saw that movie...
when Al Pacino was talking really soft.
You know...
Yeah.
You're a good man, Johnny. I think for me, that was up there with... I can't remember if I saw that first or Scarface. I want to say I saw Scarface and I thought that's a badass actor, scary movie. Scary as far as like villain and like taking care of the family mafia. And then I saw Scarface first because then I saw The Godfather and I said, this is the true meaning of like, not scary is the word. What categories does that fall in?
Drama.
Yes.
Drama type
of drama. But you know what I'm saying?
Drama.
Yeah, like crime drama. Like Scarface was like that, but it was like the big, easy, like guns and explosions.
I would tell you, Godfather, when I first watched it, it was because of my parents. Like my parents was watching Godfather because you had Marlon Brando, you had all these big names that was up in there. So when you had all these big names, you know, like my mom and dad's actors, they were in it, they would watch it. You know, Robert De Niro, everybody's in there in this, you know, and it's huge. But when I watched the first one, I really didn't get it. Scarface, after watching Scarface actually had me go back after I seen Scarface and was like, okay, I got to really sit down and watch it.
And then it helped you understand.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, for me, it was, I watched Scarface and I thought, like, this is how you make those drama crime. And then I went and watched Godfather and I was like, I actually like this type of
story.
Story.
Right,
yeah.
Right.
Like, it wasn't just, you know, you show, like, the movie starts and then you go to his childhood and he got abused and it's like, no, he's at a freaking wedding.
Right.
For his daughter. Right. It's like, I wasn't expecting that. And then to have that conversation during the wedding, and I was like, okay, this is real life. Like, yep, taking care of this wedding, and yeah, I got to deal with you, and we got to handle this guy. But I'm going to go out there, I'm going to kiss my daughter, kiss my wife, and yeah, my bodyguard's going to come up to me. No, not right now. I'm hanging out with family. But afterwards, yeah, we're going to get in the car. And I was like, okay, that's...
So number 3 is Godfather.
Number 3 is Godfather.
Number 3 for me, Lincoln Lawyer, Matthew McConaughey.
Do I remember? Oh,
man! If you have not seen Lincoln, there's an episode TV show out right now that is called The Lincoln Lawyer. but it's based on this. It's based on this novel. Now, this movie with Matthew McConaughey, Lincoln Lawyer, man, I can't stop watching any of it. Like any of it. If I walk into a room and it's on, I don't care what part it's on. I'm watching. It's happening.
Lincoln Lawyer.
And Lincoln Lawyer is probably the movie that made me want to be like, you know what? If I'm going to go to school, I want to pass the bar.
Okay.
I want to be a lawyer.
I have seen it.
His driver,
certain movies, I got to look at the graphic. Okay.
His driver was the best.
Yes.
The best.
That's a good one. That one is in the top of my head. I had to look that one up, but I remember watching it.
Oof.
I do remember watching
One
it.
of the best lines in that movie was when the cop looked at, because he's a defense attorney, and one of the cops looked at him and said, "You can really like defend these scumbags." And Matthew McConaughey looked that cop right in the face and was like, "If you did your job, I wouldn't have one." And it was like, that's what actually hooked me. That first line hooked me. I was like, I want to see how he's going to act in court. This is going to be great.
How is he going to do
not
that?
disappointed. Matthew McConaughey's fantastic actor.
He is. He's
fantastic.
a good one.
That's my number 3.
Okay. That's the first one I had to actually look up to remember.
Okay.
That's the other thing I was curious about. I was like, how many of these do I have to actually look up, or can I actually be like, no, I remember that one? That's the first one out of 10. I take that as a win.
Okay.
Number 4, the original Gladiator.
Russell Crowe.
Mm-hmm.
Good movie.
Russell Crowe.
Good movie.
Original Gladiator. I got to go with the originals. It's the one I watched. Helped me with a little bit of, because I was not a big history person. So it kind of helped me understanding that lifestyle and also just how it was portrayed. Again, not one of those big, actually I take that back. It was a fight movie, but it had a lot of storytelling also. You got your fill of fight, but it was more about the message behind the fights. And the first time I watched it, I was like, yeah, they're fighting and they're on horses. And then I watched it the second time and it's like, every one of these fight is a message to the story he was telling. And so, yeah, I appreciated that one more, kind of how you did with Godfather.
Maximus was probably one of the greatest generals in history, not just in Roman history.
No,
of history.
Yes.
And that's because he was one of the generals that was loved by the men that actually fought.
Mm-hmm.
Like when the generals would get back from wars and all that stuff, they'd all meet in their little tent. They'd have their servants or stuff so that they can get their medical treatment, whatever. Before Maximus even touched that tent, he went to every single one of his soldiers to make sure every single one of them was good to go.
Well, that's what they show that right after their fight. Mm-hmm. He's in the I think he's actually with them. He's not even eating. He's making sure they've got food and telling this person to go get checked out, or I don't know the proper term, but like there's a nurse beside him and she's like, hey, go take a look at that guy. Yep. And then he probably was walking out to then go to the nursing area to check on other people, but then he had to get escorted.
He was the last one to be looked at in his eyes, and that's a good leader.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's my,
okay.
What was that, number 4?
Number
4, Gladiator.
My number 4 was it your number 2?
No, Remember the Titans was number 2.
Then it was your number 1.
Training Day.
Training Day is my number 4.
Number 4? Okay. Okay.
Let me get my guns out. Let's load them up. I love that scene with him and Ethan Hawke in the restaurant.
Yeah, there's so many good scenes.
A DUI stop.
I think Training Day no, it's not one of the first, but I think Training Day was one of the top 3 movies of mine where I had so many quotes I recited and just couldn't.
There's a lot of them.
And just couldn't, and was like, why am I reciting that? And it's like, it's just that movie.
Especially when you do something motivating, it just comes out where you just like, King Kong ain't got shit on me.
That whole scene, huh? You motherfuckers.
Okay. I'm gonna have you up cases on all you bitches.
I'm gonna have you in Pelican Bay. I was like, he is pissed.
Especially like I liked how when he played that character, he also went in like not just as like an African American person playing, he was also playing like because his girl was Spanish, so like his lingo of switching from English to Spanish was like superb, like perfect,
clean.
When he was just like Officer Hoyt, mijo, mijo, but like when he's speaking Spanish to the young boy to get him to come over to him, it was like, but it was like he sounded like he normally speaks that way, like all the time.
Yeah, but in his role, he was around all of that it was natural, and he had that personality to portray.
That was really filmed in the jungle. That was really filmed in the jungle in L.A.
I think I knew that. I think I read
that was filmed in that neighborhood. That was the actual neighborhood.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was a good one. All right. Number 5. Do the Right Thing.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
You doing a Spike Lee joint on me like that? He said, "Do the right thing."
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm not gonna say like I just threw it in there. It's a part of the like my classic childhood, almost like how you said your parents for which one was that you just said that you remember watching that because your parents?
Oh, Godfather.
Godfather.
Yeah.
That's how I felt with Do the Right Thing. That was my dad's movie. Like growing up, that was his. It was up there with, this one's not on my list, but it was up there with that. White Man Can't Jump, and then what was
He Got Game?
He Got Game. Did I put that one? No, I didn't put that one. But those were in my dad's realm of movies. Like, we're having a movie night. If dad's picking, it's one of these 3. The only way it's not is because there's something new that came out that he wanted to check out.
Gotcha.
So that's where that came from, and it was like it's stuck with me.
Gotcha.
Numero 5.
Number 5 for me. So funny though. We're not picking the same movies, but we're kind of staying with the same directors. Because mine's a Spike Lee movie too.
I'm not even gonna try to guess.
Inside Man.
Oh,
yeah.
I forgot about that one.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I forgot. Spike Lee did do that one.
Yes, he did.
Was that one of his? That wasn't one of his first big break.
No.
What was before that one? Would have been probably put you on the spot. I feel
Malcolm X?
Yeah. And then that one wouldn't have been. That was another one of his blockbuster ones.
Oh yeah. Yeah, the studded cast too.
Yeah.
Like, you had Jodie Foster. You had what's his name? I'm trying to think of his name right now. He was in Spider-Man. He played the Goblin.
Oh.
William Dafoe.
Yes.
William
I was
Dafoe.
like, he's got a simple first name.
William Dafoe. And just the idea and the storyline of how the whole heist went down, I was like, that is so genius. It made me continue. That's one thing that I rate movies on. How long are you gonna keep my attention? And are you gonna make me want to go, I don't want to miss this part. I don't want to miss this part. And that was one of them. Inside Man is one of my favorites. This ain't no bank robbery.
That's a good one.
It's one of my favorites.
I'm pretty sure we had that on bootleg VHS. And I remember watching that one so many times I get pissed the next time I wanted to watch it because I didn't rewind it back.
I think that was one that I forgot to take back to Redbox.
Redbox. Where did they go? Number 6. You'll respect this. I don't know if you have it on your list, I would be surprised, but not surprised. I don't know. Number 6 for me is Shawshank Redemption.
Ooh, that's a perfect movie.
Mm-hmm.
That's a perfect movie. We've fallen close.
And I actually, that was my number 7. But then I realized once I got to the others, I was like, that deserves to go a little bit up. Because that's kind of my first of that, I almost said demographic category. And it kind of is the first that I watched of that where I really appreciate it. Again, a lot of these is based on that attention.
Right, correct. And are you grabbing?
I hadn't seen anything that way.
Gotcha.
In a sense. So it caught me, and it was also another way of understanding how to appreciate that type of film.
Gotcha.
And also made other ones be like, that's trash. I'm done. You didn't catch me in 5 minutes. I'm done.
My number 7 or 6? We're on 6, right?
6.
My number 6, Dead Poet Society. Robin Williams as a teacher.
I know that. I can't remember the freaking graphic for that one.
That was the very first movie that I actually sat down and watched, and I wasn't a child, but I was still a kid. Like I was probably in my teens.
Yeah.
Watching this movie that was the first movie to make me cry. That was the first movie to actually pull a tear out of my face back in those days. And it was another star-studded cast in there too. Like some of Dead Poet Society. Oh, Captain, my Captain.
Yes.
When the kid said, "Oh, Captain, my Captain," and stood on top of their desk, I lost my mind.
That's the second freaking it has the artwork, and the second freaking photo is him standing up
on the desk.
On the desk.
Carpe diem. Do you know what that means?
I don't.
Carpe
I should
diem.
know.
Carpe diem means seize the day.
Wow, Ethan Hawke was in it?
Yes, bro. Everybody was in this movie, man. Everybody was in this movie.
Jeez.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, this movie was hard. Like, this movie went
This one was
really
deep.
good. Dead Poet Society, first movie. That's when Robin Williams became one of my favorite actors of all time, because he was the first actor to make me laugh and the first actor to make me cry.
I think he probably
and
was.
he was a comedian. I'm all the way on.
Yeah,
board.
he had the full package.
Yep.
He had the full package. All right, number 7, Pulp Fiction.
Oh, you threw one of them in there, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, Pulp Fiction was number 8, and then again with Shawshank, I had to move those up. But the last 3 for me, you'll probably be like, how did you not put these probably above Shawshank and Pulp Fiction?
Okay.
But yeah, Pulp Fiction for me at number 7. Where are you going, Mr. Number 7? Also, what are we at? We had 3. Training Day, Remember the Titans, or just 2?
2.
Yeah, you didn't have Godfather and
Nope.
you didn't have Gladiator. Okay, so we're still at 2 with 3 left.
With my pick, I'm going to stay with that number.
Just the movie 7? No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
7.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, there is one of my favorite Morgan Freeman movies. Morgan Freeman, Brad Pitt, Robert Lee Ermey as the lieutenant, as the captain in charge of Kevin Spacey as the actual serial killer.
I mean, that might be.
And that's what I'm saying. Is like my horror
hard.
moves like that way towards it. It's still got to be good acting. 7.
That might be the hardest cast right now of our list. I think that, and that's saying a lot, but that I think is the, because you kind of catch almost all of them.
Even
sub peak.
Even today, you can walk around and be like by Gen Zs, Gen Xs, Gen Millennials, and you can say the phrase, "What's in the box?" and everybody knows that line. Everybody, "What's in the box?" It's like that comes from 7.
I mean, did you catch them all? I feel like you caught them maybe at their peak, but I feel like when that came out, they were all sub-peaking. Maybe Morgan is the only one that was about at his peak.
Yeah.
But I feel like everybody
Brad Pitt was still kind of coming in.
Yeah.
And he was coming off of like what was the one where they fight all the time? Fight Club. So he was kind of coming off of Fight Club, coming into that.
But they were all at the top of that mountain. Like I said, Morgan might be the only one who was like, come on,
maybe
guys.
Kevin Spacey too.
Kevin, yeah, he was, but they were all, none of them was on this cliffhanger.
No.
Or like, we got to see what else you can do. You caught them at.
I will put 7 at 7.
That's a good one.
7 at 7.
That's a good one. That one I forgot about actually. That's a good one. I still would keep my list. They'd be outside top 10, I think, still. But they have a fighting chance. All right, number 8. Good Will Hunting.
Ooh. How you like them apples? Man, that's a great. Is that what you do? You come in,
That's
you
what you
embarrass
do.
my business. You come in here, you kick off, you spit out somebody else's knowledge like it's your own. You stand here, impress some girl, embarrass my friend. Maybe we can go outside and talk about this for a minute.
Yup. That was
Oh, that's a good one too.
Number 8.
Ooh, Good Will.
That's why I said my last 3, even as I'm looking at them, I'm like, they probably should have been a little bit higher.
Ooh. Yep.
When did that come out? Yeah, 97.
Okay, now we're getting close to the end of it.
Was this before your movie or was it after yours?
What's that?
Good Will Hunting. Came out in 97. When did?
Oh
yeah, 89.
Dead Poets was in the
89.
80s. Yeah, Dead Poets was in the 80s.
89.
Yeah.
JK.
Big time.
My bad.
Good Will Hunting was Robin Williams' day of bearded time, wearing the beard.
Yeah, 89, late 80s, early 90s was still baby facing it. Yep. You're right. All right. Number 8 for you.
Number 8 for me. Since we're already near the end of the list, I'm a big saga fan. So Star Wars was gonna fall in here somewhere.
I'm surprised you didn't.
I like my saga. My saga will be in the top 10. Where it will be in the top 10, I don't know, but it will be in the top 10. But I'll do it by movie. I won't be like, I need the whole saga in there.
No, I know you. I know you're gonna tell us which one.
Rogue One. Rogue One
Not
is
surprised.
and it goes Rogue One, and then it goes Empire Strikes Back.
Okay.
As the saga goes in there. I know some people are like, "Oh, Return of the Jedi." I'm like, "Nah, I liked it, but nah.
I feel like if you are a true Star Wars fan, I would say I'm well below average of a fan. But I feel like in your heart of hearts as a fan, most people, you got to go with Rogue One.
Yeah,
You kind of, if
it's the way everything started.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's the reasoning of everything. And me being a sub-level fan, I know that. Like you got to go with not only that was, in my opinion, the best, but tells you everything.
It tells you of how of the struggle of how they got the plans.
Yes.
Which, spoiler alert, if none of y'all out there have ever seen Rogue One, I had somebody break down to me how Rogue One didn't even make sense. Because when it came down to it, right, they, in Star Wars A New Hope, right?
Okay,
she was holding the disc that all of these people sacrificed their whole life for, blew up a planet to grab this little disc. And then when it came down to it, when they busted Princess Leia out of the Death Star, they actually took R2 and plugged him into the Death Star and downloaded everything from the Death Star. So when it came down to it, when they got back to the base, they didn't even use the disc. Disc was sitting on somebody's desk. They just plugged in R2. So it was like, all we had to do was get Princess Leia caught. All these people didn't have to die. I was so mad. I was like, what?
That's when you didn't want to hear that type of fact.
Yeah.
That's funny. Okay, number 9, Boys in the Hood.
Ooh, there you went. Mm-hmm. There you went.
Number 10's going to get you.
But it's funny, though. It's like your number 9 is like almost on the same as my number 9.
So you went...
I didn't go Boys in the Hood. I didn't go Menace to Society.
That's what I was going to say, Menace to Society.
But I did do an Ice Cube production.
Frick. I know. Frick.
It's a day of the week.
Friday.
The original.
Yes. You got to go with
Chris
the original.
Tucker. Chris Tucker and Smokey, like the original.
Man.
Mm-hmm. I can quote that whole movie.
Oh, Friday.
From the beginning to the end, I can quote that whole movie.
Friday is up there with going to a TV show, Martin Lawrence. That was my homework, Saturday, chores, laundry. Could just throw on Friday. Didn't have to watch, didn't have to actually visually see it.
And as a comedian too, like I've opened up for John Witherspoon twice. Like I've worked with him in two different venues twice. And that man right there is something else. And I know some people are like, they're not really like that, where he's like, put some hot sauce on that, baby. And people think, okay, that's just an act. That was not an act.
Him.
That was him. That was 100% him. Every show we did, we'd be in the back room, in the back of the green room, just mounds of chicken wings, mounds of carrots and stuff like that, just sitting. And he'd sit there with his, put some hot sauce on that, baby. Like he would, that was John. I took John to Jack in the Box one time. Me and him went to Jack in the Box because he wanted an ultimate cheeseburger. But Friday is my number 9. That's my number 9. It's got to be in there.
Number 10.
Oof.
Comedy. Hella good cast. Life.
Oh! Knew I was forgetting one.
Bernie Mac.
I knew I was forgetting one. Jang-a-lang.
Martin.
Jang-a-lang. Oh, man. You want to know how... You know what?
I feel so proud that I got you on number 10. I feel so proud.
Do you know that Life, I think, is just like they started streaming it again on like Netflix, I think it was. And the minute I seen it, like that is one of the best.
I feel so proud.
Bruh, I damn near lost my mind when they were standing on the bottles and Martin Lawrence was like, stop talking to me. And he said, damn it, one of my toes went in the bottle. I lost it. I ain't never laughed that hard, so hard in my life. You know what, Claude? You can't say watch or nothing like that around. You better say little clock or some shit like that.
Lil Ray's boom boom room. Ray's boom boom room.
There ain't no boom. When there is a boom boom room, don't come down to them because you ain't getting in.
Yeah.
You know what? I can't leave that out. That's got to be my number 10.
What was your number 10?
That's got to be my number 10.
Well,
it don't even matter.
I
It don't
am
even matter.
so proud of myself.
It don't even matter. I can't go with a list without Life. Life has to. I can't even believe I didn't throw that in there.
I feel so proud of myself.
Damn.
Right now. I feel so proud of myself.
Damn it. You said Life. That's my jam.
And see, when I was making this list, I thought Training Day, Godfather.
Yeah. Godfather's like number 11, 12 for me.
And I was like, Life. I was like, if he doesn't have Life, I might damn near convince him to put it on the list.
Man.
I thought you were gonna say Life in the top 4.
I should have. I totally forgot it. It would have been. Like, it 100% would have been. 100%. That's my thing. Can't get right. What you mean can't get right? Can't get right.
Yes.
Yeah, oh yeah. No, that's my jam.
If I was back, if I was a Boy Scout.
And look at that cast.
Oh.
Look at that cast.
Stacked.
Like,
that's why
all
it
the
had
way.
to be on that list.
All the way. Like, even like on just like the look, like you had Heavy D with a shovel. You know what I mean? Like, I totally forgot that Heavy D was one of the inmates that was digging the shovel when they was burying the bodies for it. I was like, wait a minute, Heavy D was in this movie?
I feel so proud of myself. You got to tell me though, what was your number 10? You said you're going to replace it, but what was your number 10?
No, man, I don't even want to say it now because now that just makes it look like I was just looking for a number 10.
Wow.
That's it. That's the one. It's got to be up in there.
You really forgot.
Oh my goodness. I can't believe that. My number 10 is an actual like comedy movie. It's one of my favorites for the holidays. It's called The Ref. And it stars Dennis Leary, Kevin Spacey.
Yeah.
He's like a bank robber that robs the houses during like Christmas time. It's one of the best because oh man, I forgot. How did I forget? And I don't want to forget The Ref. I want to put The Ref in there too.
I can't believe I got you on Life.
Oh my goodness. That's my jam. Like Life is like that one of the jingling. What to take my pitch and woo on the work site. I just the simplest things. Like here, look around. None of y'all can read.
I feel so proud, America. I for sure thought you were gonna. This is what I thought was gonna happen. I thought Life was gonna be in your top 3 without hesitation, and then I was gonna tell you. I
totally forgot about.
And then I was gonna tell you I had it. And then you were gonna say we got to cut the list. I need to know where is it at and how is it not. And I was prepared for you to be top 4.
I'm almost
top 5.
I'm almost trying to pull it out and replace it in so that I can bring The Ref as my number 10 again. Oh,
you can't forget about
I can't believe
Life.
I forgot Life.
I felt so proud too. I was like, Training Day, he's gonna agree. Remember the Titans. I was like, he's got to be a fan of Godfather. I was like, Gladiator,
because like
he might be hit or miss. I was like, Boys in the Hood. I was like, Good Will Hunting or Shawshank. I was like, those two maybe. I was like, Pulp Fiction, he might argue, but I was like, Life. I was like, he will probably beat me to it.
Life was a for me it was a breath of fresh air because Eddie Murphy started doing like I grew up with the 80s Eddie Murphy.
That's why I figured
Saturday Night Live, like Beverly Hills Cop, Golden Child, like this was the Eddie Murphy that I grew up with.
I am shocked you didn't have.
So when
Eddie
he did, when he started doing like the other movies, like I get it, Nutty Professor, all that stuff. He started doing all that kind of stuff. I was like, yeah, okay. When he did Life, I was like, okay, you went back.
It took you back to how you.
Oh yeah.
And that he still had.
Oh yeah. Because like in Golden Child, the best lines in there. Why I got to be chosen to go to Bahamas, to Tibet?
To the
why can't I be chosen to go to Bahamas or something? And then like you look at Life and just the little comments, the lines that they had through that whole movie, like the upper room. The upper room. I'm gonna break up into that to be like
Ray's
the upper
boom room.
Damn it, I can't forget. Okay,
I'm so proud.
That moved The Ref to number 11. Damn it, that's all right. Life is in it.
Okay. Do I dare ask you? Do we need to do a second round of this?
No. Nope.
No second.
Nope.
Okay.
Because then it'd be hard. Would it be another top 10?
Yeah.
But it can't be because you already had a top 10. So this would have to be like a top 20?
Ooh. No. You know what I would do? Here right on the spot, and we're gonna end it. Of the top 10, what's your top 3?
Oh, I'm gonna tell you right now, Life gonna be in there.
I know it's got to be.
Life's gonna be
for
in there.
me. Training Day, Life, and then, oh, that's a toughie. Godfather. I gotta. Life, Training Day, Godfather.
Mine will be Inside Man, Lincoln Lawyer, and Life.
That's
Those
a good
would be my
versatility.
3 out of my 10. Yep.
That's a good versatility. For me, it was like Training Day and Godfather, you could kind of say are in that same realm, but they're two different types.
Two different types, yeah. 2 different situations.
Okay. All right. That's the list. Give us your list, top 10.
Yeah, I want to hear what your guys' list is.
There's some we missed. I think I might have won the stumping of THC with Life.
You did. Life killed me.
Yeah. You actually probably got some comments right now. Some people saying, "How could you forget that?"
Yeah, no,
you should have never admitted that. You should have just lied and said that's my top 10 too.
That's not me though.
But that's not you.
Nope.
You're gonna get so much slack, bro. I feel
good.
so.
Give it to me. Give it to me in the comment sections. Be like, what is your problem, SP? What is going on, Hawaiian?
If movies was like a Boy Scout badge, I just earned mine.
Man,
the fact that I stumped you.
You even said another movie I like too. You just said Boy Scout.
Boy Scout.
Last Boy Scout. Damon Wayans, Bruce Willis. Yeah, you said now all of these movies are popping up in my head right now.
All right, we got to get out of here. I just started a train over here. He might have a top 50. I'm Twitty. That's THC. Hit the like, hit the subscribe button. Until next time, we out.